Yeah. So now we are going to discuss hello engineers. So in the day 4, we are going to discuss first playwright automation script. This is the agenda of this lecture. And I know you also more excited to learn the playwright. So now, first of all, I would like to tell what is the agenda of this lecture. So I'm writing here day 4. First playwright automation script. Just need to remove this one. Why it is different? And then now I'm writing again day 4. Agenda. So now, first of all, you need to look the agenda so that you will more excited like me. So today agenda is create our first Java class, understand the playwright architecture, launch our first browser, create a browser context, open a new page, navigate to website, print page title, close the browser properly. So at the end of this video, you will understand not only how to write your first playwright script, but also how playwright work internally. So we will focus on the same. So before jump to the coding part, we have need to no. Before writing our first playwright script, let me ask you one simple question. What do you think happen internally when we automate a browser? I'm repeating my question. What do you think happens internally when we automate a browser? Most beginners think the flow is very simple, like Chrome Java code and Chrome browser. That's it. Most of the answer is Java code and then Chrome browser. That's it. But this is not correct. Actual flow is Java code, Playwright Java libraries, Playwright drivers, browser engines, then Chrome is Firefox. So now, when we write Playwright code, Java code does not directly communicate with the browser. Already you know very well, because this is same thing has happened with the Selenium also. Instead, Java communication with the Playwright Java libraries, the Playwright libraries communicate with the Playwright drivers, then driver talk to browser engines. Like this. This is a flow, libraries, Playwright drivers, then engine, then initiate the browser. This is the flow is going like that. Step 1. I know you are fully aware with this, but I want to in the basics so that anyone person, one moment. Oh, sorry. Control A and yes. So now step 1, create a Java class. Create a class method. I will open the IntelliJ. First class name is, I should go with the first playwright script. Okay. How I open my IntelliJ, let's see. Open the Explorer, come to the window, then is the win folder, there is the application. There is another way you can ping in the tab, bottom tabs, but you can click in the application. Oh, sorry. This is not ID64. This one is the correct. This one will open. Now you can see we have to close this one. Now, and there is the two project which currently I'm working on. So this is open. That's why there is the one window will open when you are working on the single window. So now, there is the one class already I have created already. If you have watched my just previous video install and setup. So now I would like to create a new package. Inside the package, I would like to create one class, Java class. That name should be better understanding first, playwright script. Okay, so might be in your thought. So might be is the packages. This is the package is the page. So might be this thought in your mind. What is the packages? Package is the simply a way to organize the Java classes. Think of a package like a folder on your computer. This is the packages. This is the folder on your computer. Instead of the keeping the 100 of Java class in the one place, so we organize them into packages. Okay, so as you can see, this is the package, this is the separate folder, this is the separate folder, this is the separate folder. If I come here, then see the package is the base. Base is nothing, just folder. Are you getting, I guess, my point? Now, question is the class. Class is the just blueprint. Already you learned this word. Class is a blueprint, just like an architect create a blueprint before constructing a building. This is like an architect create a blueprint before constructing a building. A Java class act as the blueprint for the creating object. Okay, so everything we write in the Java live inside a class. So we have need to create the method. This is the Java method, the main. I know you already aware. Public static void main. I just click enter. No, I think this will be from tab. This is the method I have written. So this is the entry point of the every Java application. We click run. This is the entry point, right? The JVM first search from the main method. Execution always start from here. Without the main method, Java application can't start. So now come to the create a playwright object. How you can create. Now this is the new thing that you will learn in this lecture. So playwright object we will write simple in the, if you are understanding from the words, playwright. Create the simple like the earlier object we have created. Playwright equal to playwright. This is the session which we have picked. So playwright dot create. Now the simple is playwright is an automation framework deployed by the software Microsoft. You have need to understand first. Then it allows us to automate modern web browser like the Chrome, Edge, Firefox, or Safari. So what is the playwright create? Might be this question in your mind. This method initializes the playwright engine. Think of it like starting the engine of a car. Without starting the engine, the car can't move. Similarly, without creating the playwright object, nothing in the playwright can work. So what happened internally? Playwright dot create, start playwright runtime, load native libraries. So I'm writing here so you will understand. Just oh sorry, I should go back. And like how it will work. This is the playwright create is written. Now start. So okay, I should go there. So it will be going. Oh. So how it will work? First of all, this is playwright dot create, and then start playwright runtime. And then loads native libraries, prepare browser communication. This is how internally work. This single line prepare the complete automation environment. Playwright create, start playwright runtime, load native libraries, and prepare the browser commands. Okay. So step 3, launch browser. So how you will launch? Do you remember how you launch in the Selenium? I know if you have watched my previous videos, I know you will understand how we launch there. Browser playwright dot Chromium. I will tell you what is the Chromium also. Dot launch. Launch, inside the launch, we have need to create new instance. New browser dot browser type browser dot launch options dot headless false. Yes. So now question is, what is browser? Browser is the software used to display website. Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Mozilla, Firefox, Safari. A browser read HTML, CSS, JavaScript and convert them into web page we see. Now your thought is, what is the Chromium? So if I over there, here is anything? No. So Chromium is the open source browser project. Google Chrome is built on Chromium. Microsoft is also built on Chromium. Many modern browsers use the Chromium engine. Playwright launches Chromium because it provides the excellent compatibility with modern web application. So how the browser engine work? So now we need to back on the board. So just see how. So Google Chrome and Chromium engine and Microsoft Edge and Chromium engine and sorry, and Gecko and Safari. Google Chrome, Chromium engine, Microsoft is Chromium, Firefox, Gecko engine, go to the Gecko engine, Safari, WebKit engine. This is why Playwright support Chromium, Firefox, and WebKit. Now question you were asking about the headless or head. So when we are writing set headless true, that means browsers run in the background without opening any visual window. No UI appear on the screen. The browser still perform every action. What is the headed mode? Headless false. Well, this is which we have written here. Headless false we have written, right? So that means browser open normally. You can see everything. Headless false. If we written here headless true, that means browser will not open on appear. Browser still perform every action without opening visual on UI, visual window. Sorry. Okay. So I think you are getting my point. So if I tell you in the simple way, what is the difference in both? So just see. Headless versus head, no UI and visual, faster, used during development, and less memory, more memory. Headless, less memory consumption, more memory. Automation only, debugging purpose. You have to see na ki what is the going on the. So now we will write next line. What is the next? Think you guys. Next is the browser context. Context is equal to browser.new context. Okay. Browsers context. Let's see. You know, whenever you will start, choose key to, I will write changed into tab, and just of the enter is the perfect for yours. Browser context, browser.new context. That means, let me understand what is the things. This is the browser context. If you understand browser context body, you will understand the Playwright architecture. So browser context is the isolated browser session. It has its own cookies, its own caches, its own local storage, its own session storage, and its own authentication state. Think of it as a complete separate user. I will give you one real-time example. Imagine you are using Google Chrome. You open one normal window, then you open another incognito window. Both windows are completely isolated. If you log in the Gmail in the normal window and incognito window are still log out. Why? Because they have a different session. Playwright browser context works exactly the same way. So I will tell you. I need to go on the board. So how is the working? Let's suppose it's the Chrome browser. Chrome browser context A, then cache A, user A. Okay, then context 2, cookies B, cache B, user B. Why the Playwright use browser context? This is the one of the biggest advance of the Playwright. Instead of the launching multiple browser, Playwright launch one browser and create multiple isolated context. It make automation faster, more memory efficient, more stable. So might be some interviewer asked to you, please note down somewhere. Browser context is an isolated browser session that maintain its own cookies, cache, local storage, authentication state. Why not open multiple browser? Suppose you have 100 users, open one, launch 100 user browser, consume hug memory. Very slow. Open option 2 might be launch one browser, 100 browser context, fast, efficient, professional. This is exactly what Playwright does. Memory conjunction without context. How the work without context, sorry, yeah, without context, chrome chrome and high memory, and with context, chrome, and then it will run context 1, context 2, 3, 4, 5, and low memory. This is how. Okay, so imagine you are testing e-commerce application, customer A, customer B, customer N. So all three should be different shopping carts. Instead of opening 3 Chrome browsers, Playwright create the 3 browser contexts. Each customer get its own isolated session. Now question might be this question in mind. I want to cover this one. So each session simply means the browser remember whom you are. Session means browser remember whom you are. For example, when you log into Amazon, close one tab, then open another, you are still logged in. That information is stored inside the browser session. Please note down somewhere, guys. Next is the cookies. Cookies are a small piece of data stored inside the browser. Cookies is the small piece of data stored in the browser. Example, user log in, cookies stored, open another page, website, read cookies, user still logged in. This is the kind of information inside the cookies. Without cookie, you would need to log in on every page. Okay. Next is the cache. Cache store frequently used file like messages, CSS, JavaScript, fonts. The next time you visit the website, the browser loads these files from local storage. Instead of downloading them again, it will be the result files. With the help of the cache, once you already open that application, when you next time visit the same application, that application will open fast instead of first time. So now question is, what is the local storage? Local storage data permanently until when we delete it. Example, dark theme, language preference, shopping cart, and remember me. Session storage exists only while the browser tab is open. Close the browser, session storage disappear. Browser context content like cookies, cache, local storage, session storage, authentication state, everything remain isolated. So now we have need to create a page. So I will add here. So guys, I'm telling very in detail so that whenever you will see this video, feel great. Yeah. So now now we have created browser context, but can we interact with any website? Tell me. Answer is no, because browser context itself is not a web page. We now need to create a page. What is page? Page represent a single browser tab whenever you open Google, Amazon, Facebook, YouTube, and my YouTube channel, and tutorial points where my course is there, and Udemy course where I already have, there is a lot of course from my side. So whatever you are opening, you have need to create that first. Browser interact with the browser context and browser context interact with the page. Can one browser have a multiple contexts? Let me know. Yes. Browser context page 1, page 2, page 3, like that. Okay. So so now what we have need to do? We have need to do. Already, I think you understand now what we have learned so far. We have covered one browser. One browser have many browser contexts, many pages. This architecture make Playwright extremely powerful. In this example, I will tell you, suppose one user open Amazon, product page, cart, checkout, and payment. Every screen open inside the different tabs. Each tab is represented by the page. So interview question, difference between browser and browser context. Page. Answer, browser, actual browser application. Browser context is the isolated user session page. Single browser tab. Please remember. Okay, so real world analog, if I want to tell you, so browser as a shopping mall, browser context as an individual shop, page as an individual room inside the shop, page as an individual room inside the shop. How the flow is working? I know you know. Playwright, browser context, page, and automation. So now need to go with the next step, page dot navigate. Navigate. Wide navigate. Why it is not navigate? Everything's bit good. Malo HTTPS. Playwright RIEHT dot dev. Okay. Why it is? Let me check this one. Here we have written navigate is also fine, but still I've written something wrong. Navigate. Oh, sorry, got it. Not this is not a page. We have need to write this correct way. Then what we have need to do? Okay. So wow. So now, what is the navigation? Navigation simply means moving from one web page to another. Whenever you type a website address in your browser and press enter, your browser start navigation process. Similarly, in this line, where we are navigating on this URL. So that means we are telling the browser to visit this website. So how the internally work? So, but internally many things happen before you actually see the web page. How? The page dot navigation browser receiving this URL and start the navigation. When playwright execution page dot navigation, it pass the URL to browser. Now browser know where it need to go. So now there is one thing come in picture, DNS resolution. What does browser do first? It need to find IP address of the website. Human remember name like google.com, Amazon, Google Playwright.dev. But computer communication using the IP address. So browser asks DNS server, what is the IP address of Playwright.dev? So DNS server replies the IP address. Now browser know where send the request. Like that. So I will give you one example. Imagine you want to visit your friend house. You know your friend name, but reach there you need to contact exact address. Na? DNS work exactly that. So HTTP request. After getting the IP address, browser send the. So I should prefer the board now. Delete now. And now is the step 3, right? HTTP request. HTTP request. How? Like browser and HTTP request. And then server. Okay, after getting the IP address, browser send the HTTP request. What is the HTTP request in your mind might be? HTTP request is simply message sent by the browser to server. Message browser server, sorry. Right, okay. So example, get HTTP host is playwright.dev. So you don't need to memorize this. Just remember that every website start with the request. Okay, so now come to the picture is the server side. Now this server receive the request, is process it, maybe read the data from the database, maybe generate the HTML body or HTML, maybe validate the user. After completing all process, it send the request response back. Like browser request. So how the architecture is? Browser request server DB server response browser. Step 5, HTTP response. The server now send the response. The request usually contain, what is contain? Tell me what the data it will contain. Data will be in the form of HTML, CSS, Java, JS, image, font, video. Everything required to build a web page. Already you are aware what is the HTML. HTML is to define the structure of web page, heading, paragraph, buttons, image, table, forms, all. CSS already you know the make web page beautiful. Without CSS, every website would like the plain text. What is the JavaScript? Already you know JavaScript add intelligence of the intelligence to the web page, like click button, open pop-up, validate form, display animation, load dynamic, all that things. DOM creation. So now explain DOM. The browser receives HTML, but can JavaScript directly understand HTML? Okay, so this is all how So why is the DOM important? Automation tool don't click HTML, they interact with the DOM element. Every locator we write letter actually search inside the DOM. Um, rendering like DOM is render. What happen after DOM is created or render? The browser combination like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, then it draw the web page on your screen. This process is called rendering. This is all R is the rendering. Okay, so let's suppose I will give you an example. Imagine you are baking a cake. HTML is the ingredient. CSS is the decoration. JavaScript, the function is like a candles, lights up and music that plays. The final cake you see in the rendered web page. Why does Playwright wait? One common question which is frequently asked. Why does not Playwright click immediately after navigation? Because the page may not be fully loaded yet. Playwright intelligently wait for the page to reach a usual state before performing action. This is the one of the reason Playwright tests are generally more stable. Okay. Interview questions. What happened web page dot navigation is executed? Expected answer, browser receive the URL. DNS resolve the domain name to IP address. Browser sends a HTTP request. Server process the request. Yes, okay. How the process? What happened after the page dot navigation? Already I know tell in the detail in the lecture, but I should write. Browser receive the URL and DNS resolve the domain. Browser sends HTTP request. Server process the request. Server return the HTTP response. Browser press the HTML and create the domain. Sorry, parse. Browser parse the HTML and create the DOM. Then page is re-render. Playwright wait until the page is ready. Page is loaded. Okay. So this is how the basic things which we need to go in a detail so that you will feel more comfortable with this tool, Playwright with the Java. And then now all the things we have covered in this lecture. I know this lecture a little long, but you will feel more better. So I'm clicking on this. Sorry, I wish. Now browser will open, see the console. Oh, good. Then it will print the playwright. Suppose I will do this. So next we will meet in the next lecture.